going to put a visor decal on a Stilo helmet visor. This is for the new Stilo visor that has the little ears on the side and the little thing you squeeze in the front to unlock it to raise and close the visor. So the first step is we're going to apply the background of the visor, and once this is applied, these two little diamond shapes will be stuck to the visor, and we'll use those diamond shapes to then register or get our alignment finalized for the top layer. So I've mixed up a little bit of soapy water, just a few drops of soap and a cup of water, and we're going to put that on both the visor and the back of the decal so we can slide it around to get the alignment perfect. The first thing I'm going to do is just peel the masking tape with the release, or away from the release liner, and so the vinyl decal comes up with it. And then I'm going to dip my fingers in the soapy water. I'm going to coat both the visor and the decal, making sure I coat all of the masking tape as well. So anything that's sticky is going to get soapy water on it. Now I'm in a good position to put this on the visor, and I can move it around, I can slide it around as needed, and I can also pick it up if I need to reposition it. So for the visor, we're actually going to get a better view if we look from the back side. And this is going to allow us to slide it around and make sure that we line up the edges of the decal with the edge of the visor. So we can peel and move this around as needed. If we do need to, if it starts to stick a little, if we don't have the position right and it's starting to stick a bit, you can just take a little bit more of the soapy water and spread it on and maintain that movability. Now you'll also see that there's some air bubbles forming, between the vinyl and the visor. Once we start getting it lined up, we can use a plastic card, like a credit card or something, and we can start to kind of squeegee out those air bubbles and get it to lay perfectly flat. I'm pretty happy with this position, so I'm going to start to squeegee out the bubbles on this side. Now we're going to let this sit maybe 30 minutes or so, let most of the water evaporate, and we'll be able to peel off the masking tape. It's time to see if it's ready to peel the masking tape back. If you start peeling and the vinyl is lifting off with the masking tape, then it's not quite ready, or you can try to push it down again. But once it starts to peel and leave the vinyl in place, you're good to go. Now, when you pull the masking tape back, you kind of fold it back over on itself. You don't pull straight up because it'll tend to lift the vinyl off, but if you kind of pull it backwards like this, it should be able to release nicely without getting any air bubbles under the vinyl. If it does start coming up on the edges, just push it down with your finger. But this is looking pretty good. And again, I'm making sure that the little diamonds are staying put. There's a little bubble there that I can just squeeze out. That's very good. If you didn't line it up perfectly and you have a little bit of overhang on the edges, you can take an X-Acto knife or a razor blade and just trim it a little bit. But if you get it lined up properly, it should be just about right. Now we're ready for the top layer. Now I've got the Stilo logo here only because a regular helmet visor doesn't have the same curve. So I'm just cutting off the little Stilo piece because I don't want that on the helmet, on the visor. So I'm going to peel the backing paper off of this. to do the same technique with the soapy water. A little soapy water on the visor, and a little soapy water on the decal. And now I have the ability to move it around so I can get those diamonds to line up just right. And that centers their Porsche on top of the visor. And then I'm going to use my scraper. Just make sure that I squeegee the water out. Now I'm starting from the middle and I'm squeegeeing outward. And it's important when you're doing this step, make sure that your squeegee stays on the masking tape. If you squeegee down on the plastic, you could scratch the plastic of the visor. So just make sure it stays on that masking tape to push that down, and you'll be all set. Now that a few minutes have gone by, again I'm going to start pulling and the vinyl is staying behind, so that's a good sign. So I'm just going to pull it off and make sure it's all fully down. I'm just going to start patting it dry with a microfiber towel. Again, we don't want to scratch up that visor. And now with my fingernail I'm going to lift up those diamonds. And then just wipe it down with my microfiber. And we have one Stilo visor ready to put on a helmet. My standard colors are white text on a black background or black text on a white background. I can do all sorts of custom color combinations, and I could even do custom words for the visor. Just contact me and let me know what you want.